Welcome or welcome back to Mystic Brick, the channel where I'll be building my own medieval fantasy Lego creations. My name is Sean, and this is the second episode of the Black Falcon Fortress series that I just started, and this episode is entitled Kitchen and Cellar, so let's just get right on into it. First, just wanted to give you a look at this plate on its own in its entirety. I used a lot of different techniques to build this, and I wanted to do it off the grid, so I did make a diagonal section, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But yeah, extending the walkways on the battlements a little bit, and creating a little bit of interest here with some of that. I added some more of the vine up the side, and you'll see when that connects to the other plate that it looks really good. Yeah, so, built this little tower on top of the battlements here. And, I think one of the most challenging parts of all of this was doing the roof for the kitchen, which I used a lot of the sort of X&I pieces, in this classic way now. Cannibalized my blacksmith set in order to do some of that. I think on the whole it really turned out pretty well. I had to really finagle some things. In the end, I like the effect, and I think it looks good. This is now a peek inside the kitchen on the first floor here, and you can see there's a whole bustling little scene going on in here, and we'll take a closer look at some of this, but we got bakers, we got someone boiling some crabs, someone boiling some carrots in there, and someone baking some croissants, and then you can see this little guy is sort of headed downstairs to the cellar, and we'll get a closer look at that too in a second. A little rat on the rafters there, just waiting for his opportunity. But then, yeah, this is what that one separate section of the kitchen looks like, and I made this all modular, so it comes apart really quite easily. Everything is just bustling along in here. We've got sort of meat cutting station over here. This little chef over here is really cooking up a storm with her leafy greens. There's a bird peeking in through the window there. This guy very concerned about his carrots. Everything seems to be going pretty well though. I used the X&I tiles on the floor here to sort of hide some of the gaps from the diagonal pieces, and I think that worked out really well. Plus, using the cobbles in the way that I did on the kitchen floor and on the walkways, I think was a good effect. And also upgraded the first plate to include some of that, so it all looks kind of better. But this is a crosscut of the diagonal section, which lifts right out, so it's a floating piece, but it sits in there really snugly. And so this is a crosscut of all 3 floors, essentially. This will be around the backside now, and all this is hidden, but here is the secret door that leads into the cellar, and it functions on this very simple mechanism over here, but that will connect to the secret passage that goes behind the waterfall from the first plate. Really like the way that all turned out. It was simple enough and not too difficult to do, and I think the functional element works well. This is now the cellar, and this is one portion of the cellar. You can see this chef has come down here to grab some pumpkins. There's a barrel of carrots there along the side, and this guy is coming down the stairs to the cellar here. And you can see the little rat that's lurking there beneath the stairwell. Now this is the other side of the cellar, and I'll put them together in a second, you can see, but this will give you a view into the sort of secret passage that is behind the cellar, right over here. You can see there's a couple spiders hanging out in there. Who knows how many prisoners have escaped via this secret passage, or how much has been smuggled in over the years. Here's a look at some of the crates that are hanging out here in the cellar. We got a crate of beets, crate of apples, there's some bread still, a little workstation. There's the wine steward, and he's tasting the wine, making sure it's all up to scratch, but yeah, there's some little bottles on the side there too. And then this is what both portions of the cellar will look like together. So it really snaps in place wonderfully. I again, those Nexonite pieces really help cover the seams, and I think the effect is awesome. This then is a look at all of the minifigs in the kitchens and the cellars. You know, I used a lot of the blacksmith torso print for these because I think it just works well in general. You know, and then for the female torsos, there was a whole bunch of different pieces that I had. I would probably change out some of these once I get some more sort of medieval inspired ones in my collection, but for now I think this all looks pretty good. And yeah, there's your team of chefs. This then is a look at all of the Black Falcon Knight minifigs from both the first and the second plate, because I didn't really do a minifig display for the first plate. So this is the army so far, and my hope is to include a bunch of different contingents with, you know, different colored capes to sort of designate those, and so look for that in the future. But I've tried to create as much diversity as possible with these little minifigs and give them all sort of their own little character and uniqueness, and I think on the whole it's all turned out pretty well. So look out for more special ones in the future. Okay, here we go. This is both plates set together. And, you know, I'm moving soon, so I'm going to have a sort of bigger studio in which to film some of this a little bit better. Right now it's a bit tricky, but I think you can get the idea. And it all, yeah, fits together really snugly. Looks good, I think. On the front side of these kitchens, you know, for the next plate that I'm going to build, there will be a huge courtyard, and so that whole bottom piece won't be visible. The seams will sort of go away as well. So it's all going to look great in situ eventually. But yeah, you can see, you know, how it all just connects over here. Again, there are those upgraded walkways on the first plate, and I think this all turned out quite well. I like how it all comes together, and I really can't wait to expand this and build more. It's probably going to take me a minute before I'm able to complete the next plate, but within a month for sure. I do hope you like what you've seen here today. Please leave a comment if you do and let me know any of your thoughts. I would love to hear them. I'm likely going to build 12 plates for this MOC. I had the idea of maybe 16, but that just seems like a lot to me. I'm having to purchase a lot of bricks for this, so I think 12 works just fine. And yeah, there'll be stables to come, you know, a dungeon and a barracks and a mess hall and a sort of central keep. So yeah, please keep coming back to see the progress. And again, thanks so much for watching. I'm just gonna play you out with a couple of still shots from the whole MOC so far. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and if you would like to be a subscriber. And we will see you next time. Bye bye now.